You know what's funny? People always repeat that old saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And for most of my life, I thought it was just one of those tired little warnings about wanting too much. But for 3 months, I swore I was the exception. That I had cracked the secret code to happiness. I'm Lena, I'm 26. And back then, I thought I had the perfect setup. On one side, there was Marcus. The kind of man you notice the moment he walks into a room. Broad shoulders, expensive watch, the quiet confidence of someone who always gets his way. He worked downtown in some glass high-rise and lived in a sleek apartment that looked like it belonged in a magazine. With him, life was champagne, dimly lit restaurants, weekends that blurred into laughter and skin. He was fire, excitement, temptation wrapped in a tailored suit. And then there was Eli. Eli was different. He wasn't flash or sparkle. He was warmth. 6 years of history wrapped up in the kind of friendship you don't stumble across twice. We'd broken up nearly a year earlier, but our connection never broke. He knew my moods from a single emoji. He knew my laugh well enough to tell when it was real or forced. Tuesday dinners, late-night phone calls, endless texts about everything and nothing. He was the one person who felt like home. Marcus was passion. Eli was comfort. And in my head, I didn't have to choose. When I told Marcus about Eli, I expected jealousy, some kind of resistance. But he just shrugged and said, cool. Whatever. I loved that about him. No control, no possessiveness, just acceptance. It made me believe this really could be the best of both worlds. So that's how I lived. Tuesday, wine and pasta with Eli, sharing jokes only the two of us understood. Wednesday, Marcus's apartment, city lights through the window, his hands on me like I was the only woman alive. And for a while, it felt so effortless. So perfect. Until the night Marcus shifted the entire ground beneath me. We've gone to this expensive steakhouse, the kind with dim lighting and waiters who glide, not walk. The wine was perfect, the conversation easy. Back at his apartment, we fell into each other like always. And afterward, as I lay against his chest, content and blissful, he said the words that cracked my perfect world wide open. I want us to be serious. But if we are, you'll have to cut Eli out completely. I actually laughed at first. I thought he was teasing. I even said, very funny. But when I looked at him, there was no smile. Just seriousness in his eyes. You're joking, I said softly. I don't joke about this, he answered. I don't date women who still hang out with their exes. It's not respectful. If you want me, you cut him off. My stomach dropped. I tried explaining. Patiently. Calmly. I told him Eli and I were friends, that it was different now. That Eli had been my anchor through some of the darkest years of my life, and cutting him out would be like tearing out a piece of myself. Marcus didn't budge. He just repeated the same line, like a robot stuck on loop. If you want me, you cut him off. 3 months. That's all it had been. And already he thought he had the right to erase the one person who had never abandoned me. I said no. And from that moment, everything changed. The next week, the glamorous dinners were replaced with takeout. The flirty texts became delayed, short, cold. Suddenly, I wasn't the woman who lit him up, I was the casual option, the girl he kept around when it suited him. He started punishing me in little ways. Snide comments about my baggage. Bringing up other women and how drama-free they were. Canceling plans last minute. Forgetting the details of my life he used to cling to. The cruelest moment came one night when we ran into his friend Gavin at a bar. Gavin, half-drunk and cheerful, asked if we were official yet. And Marcus, without even blinking, smirked and said, "Nah. Lena's got too much baggage." Right there. In front of me. Like I wasn't even there. I forced myself to laugh it off. But inside, I was burning alive. Later, I exploded. I told him he was manipulative, insecure, hiding behind fake boundaries when really, he just wanted to control me. He stayed maddeningly calm, his voice steady. You're proving my point. You care more about defending Eli than building something real with me. That was it. The final straw. I walked away. For the first time in weeks, I felt free. Free of his games, his control, his hypocrisy. But freedom came with a cruel twist. 2 weeks after our final fight, Marcus was already parading around with someone new. Posting her on Instagram. Whispering to his friends about how easy she was. How she didn't come with all the complications I did. And at the same time, Eli started slipping away. My rock. My best friend. The one person I thought I could count on. Suddenly, our dinners disappeared. His texts slowed. His excuses piled up. Until one night, I cornered him. And that's when he dropped the bomb. He'd been seeing someone. Maya. She was special. She made him happy. And she wasn't comfortable with how close we were. I couldn't breathe. I reminded him, begged him, to remember everything we'd shared. How I had literally lost Marcus because I refused to let him go. How I fought for our friendship. But Eli just shook his head, looking almost guilty. I need to prioritize my future, he said softly. Maya makes me happy. And just like that, 6 years of history ended. Marcus moved on with his perfect girl. Eli moved in with Maya. And me? I was left standing in the ruins. It's been months now. Marcus still nods politely if he sees me in public, like I'm a stranger. And Eli? He blocked me. Everywhere. Like 6 years of laughter, tears, love, and loyalty meant nothing. My friends keep telling me to move on. To find someone who appreciates me. But none of them understand the irony. I stayed loyal. I refused to let anyone control me. And in the end, I lost both men anyway. So maybe that old saying is right. Maybe you really can't have your cake and eat it too. Because I tried. I tried so hard to hold on to passion and friendship. Love and loyalty. And instead, I ended up with nothing.